Welcome to the tutorial video about the lab acid rain. And in this lab, you're going to look at the effect of acid or acid rain on three different rocks: limestone, slate, and marble. So just imagine that it's raining outside, and in the city or area you live in, there's a lot of acidity in the water or in the rainfall. What's that going to do to rocks? We're going to test kind of an extreme example because we're using hydrochloric acid, about 10th molar, to see what it does to these rocks and see if it has any effect on the rocks. Remember that acid rain, actually we're using sulfuric acid, it turns out. Acid rain, which is sulfuric acid in general, is not typically a natural phenomenon. That comes from industrial pollution that humans have created mostly since the 1800s, since the Industrial Revolution. So this acid rain is unnatural, and we want to see if it has any effect on rocks in particular or anything else. So first we're going to ask you to guess, which rock do you think is going to erode the most from acid rain? I'm just going to pick one of these hypotheses just to show you how it works. And then we're going to go ahead and just pick one out. I'll just take that marble, and I'm going to press play. Now, right here, we've got the pipette, or it's actually a burette, I guess. We're going to open the burette stopper and start dripping the acid on the rock. And here on the right is the close-up. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so the close-up is showing some action. It looks like the rock is indeed eroding. As it goes on and on, it looks like more and more erosion is occurring. Okay, and now we're going to get the close-up from that video and try to do our own measuring. So we're supposed to click on top of the eroded rock, try to follow it down. Remember, this is a three-dimensional rock, so the back and the front of the top surface are right there because of the angle of the camera. Let's just try clicking as best we can in the middle of that top surface. Okay, as that top surface starts to erode downward, keep an eye on it as best as you can and try to follow it as it's eaten. Now look, you can see these parts on the right are eating further down. I'm going to try to kind of follow that average position because I know that the rock now is eroding quite rapidly, so I want to measure that, sort of the maximum amount of erosion, right? Once you get a nice curve of erosion over time, you may not get the entire thing eroding, but you can kind of see the erosion. Then you can save that and put it in your chart. Okay, once you've done all three rocks, see if what happens either is supporting the hypothesis you picked, or maybe a different rock erodes more than the one you thought. And once you've done that, you can move on to your evaluation and explain portions. Hopefully you learned something about how acid rain works to erode rocks in this virtual lab.